I spent 3.5 weeks in the incredible island of Bali, and this is everything I spent in that time. We're going to jump straight in. I'm going to break down each place and how much I spent in each location first of all, and then give you an overall breakdown of how much I spent in my 3.5 weeks in Bali. Before we get into this, if you find this interesting and helpful, please drop a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing, as well as doing these budget breakdowns for everywhere I'm traveling. I'm also doing travel vlogs, so don't forget to check those out there in the description below. When I first arrived, I did 4 days in Canggu, and then at the end of the trip, I did another week and a half in Canggu for a total of 14 days spent in Canggu. On accommodation, I spent £85.99. For activities, I spent £125.20. I would also like to note there that I did a lot of surf lessons because I was trying to learn how to surf. Transportation around Canggu cost me £28.59. Food cost me £165.17. Alcohol cost me £54.91. And miscellaneous stuff cost me £30.81. Miscellaneous stuff is getting laundry done, it's getting toiletries, it's stuff like that. So that was a total of £490.67 for 2 weeks in Canggu. And that being said, Canggu is the most expensive part of Bali. 2 weeks. Travel can be affordable. Also included in the Canggu budget was my day trip to Ubud and my day trip to Mount Batur. That's all included in the Canggu budget. After my first stint in Canggu, I then spent 4 days in Sidemen, a rural part of the island. For 4 days, I spent £24.97 on accommodation. I spent £62.71 on activities. The biggest part of that, I think about £60 of that was my ring that I made, which is something you don't have to do. I made a very expensive ring. Transportation cost me £29.31. That transportation cost is me renting a moped from Canggu for 8 days and then paying for petrol. And food cost me £29.03. So for 4 days in Sidemen, I spent £146.02 total. After Sidemen, I went down to Uluwatu and spent 5 days in Uluwatu. For the 5 days, I spent £69.64 on accommodation. I spent £11.56 on activities. I spent £3.10 on petrol because I still had the moped I rented from Canggu. And I spent £75.45 on food for a total of £108.02 for 5 days in Uluwatu. So total for 3.5 weeks in Bali, I spent £180.60 on accommodation. I spent £199.47 on activities. I spent £61 on transportation, £269.65 on food, £54.98 on alcohol. That was only one proper night out, but I was having like a bin tang with pretty much every dinner. And I spent £30.81 on miscellaneous stuff. So in total, for 3.5 weeks in Bali, one of the most gorgeous islands on this planet, I spent £796.44, and I know I could have done that cheaper. That's almost a month for just under £800. Travel can be affordable. You don't need to stay in the most expensive places. You don't need to eat out at expensive restaurants. You don't need to do every activity under the sun. You can make it affordable, and I had the best 3.5 weeks of my life in Bali. I can't recommend it enough. To prove to you how much I can't recommend it enough, I'm flying back to Bali in 2 weeks' time. I haven't had enough. So that is it. I hope you found it helpful. If you found it interesting, helpful, anything like that, please leave a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm doing breakdowns for this in every destination I travel to, so you guys can get an idea of how affordably you can travel and how much you need to save up. I also do travel vlogs in every destination, so don't forget to check out my travel vlogs from Bali. They're linked in the description. Follow the journey on Instagram and TikTok, also linked in the description. All the other stuff that YouTubers tell you to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to take the shot. Peace.